hospital, Northampton, to the professionalization of some of our colleagues at the GSU, to the expansion of audio coverage. That was embedded in the plan 20.
The speaker and the general speaker, they are playing. Generator for emergency. Tomorrow, we can say all of you. You know what I feel? But why is that doing?
Thought on the issue of the threshold bill that was passed recently, and then a motion of reconsideration was taken by one of our colleagues, which sparked heated debate around here. You know, on the 9th of December 2025, the House of Representatives passed on this bill and sent it to the Senate for concurrence. This bill was crafted following the submission of the 20 population at around 5.2 million plus. And this submission was done to satisfy the constitutional requirements that are enshrined in Articles 80D and 80E. In 80D, it says each constituency shall have an approximately equal population of 20,000 or such number of citizens as the legislature shall prescribe in keeping with population growth, a movement as reviewed by the National Census.
It's Magdala Cooper. I'm the Senior Political Advisor to His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia. But I also happen to be the spouse of the Speaker.
The example of our President, His Excellency Joseph Boakai. This is why we are here. Let me be on record. This is the national actor of Republic of Liberia that is the nucleus of Liberia. Go. Everything that Liberia needs to reflect on the historicity how Liberia was built, we have it here. But the central government has forgotten it. And we will continue to require who will speak. Mercy. In a while we're here.
Coming from the executive.
I say, I don't know why the president chose to think about football academy right after the exit of the footballing president. President Boakai had never, I don't think he even played in elementary school. To sit and decide that you're going to play a football academy, something that was being done by President Weah, who is celebrated around the world as who is celebrated in Africa. We think that is a serious challenge. That's a serious challenge. Everyone should watch that, because if this woman go ahead and build a football academy, and when he background in football after the exit of the football president, that clearly speaks to the fact that football was not a priority on George Weah.
A LOTE approved by the legislature. If you spend $10 million on a government project, which institution funded it? It also lends credence to some of the things people have said, that some of the money hitting the budget. For example, they're spending $1 million for Foya Hospital. What's the population of Foya? $1 million for Foya Hospital, but there are more people in Basso. There are more people in Magidi. So how do you allot money? There's a lot more money being spent for Polahun Hospital. and there is also money being spent for current hospital in Zozo. So this year's budget spending almost $2 million on hospitals in Fuya. Are they getting those money? In Lofa, are they getting those money to go back for it and spend on other projects?
Amrekun, distinguished colleagues, I want to say good morning to every one of you, and thank God that we're in 2026. This is a very pleasant morning. All we can say, we want to tell God thank you for life. He has given us another breathing space. However, I am reminded of the conversation that was in the chat room yesterday where the speaker validated that Cecilia Pokun is his biological sister. That leads us to the fact that Richard Kun, at this point in time, you should recuse yourself, that you have committed crime under our marital law, the domestic law of this republic, that incest is a crime. So until we get reasons why you marry your sister, I think you have lost legitimacy to preside as speaker. So it is just the right thing for you to recuse yourself. And one thing, there are a lot of colleagues calling me and say, oh, you're from the Fanatic of Blood, they fire, you're not supposed to be commenting, you're not supposed to be talking. There is not a no damn blood thing that we're talking about. We are talking about the credibility, the image of the House that represents every one of us, the legislature as a body. Do you know what happened? That a woman is claiming that she got a marriage divorce certificate from the Civil Law Court. The reputation of our judiciary is placed on a question. Now the executive is also placed on a question. The legislature is placed on a question. And the lives and the status of our Liberian brothers and sisters in the United States of America now being in danger. This is a grave allegation. I'm hoping that our dear speaker can do the right thing. I'm not talking about removal of Richard Kun. I'm only saying he should recuse himself because they are also saying the woman fake document and blah, 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 blah. In the state of Delaware, you did marriage, and then now we have credible information. The documents will be available today that, pictorial evidences will be out that you did marry and you exhibited acts of husband and wife. And if those papers are provided today from now to 12 o'clock, I think Richard Kun will not be speaker anymore.
Well, what is the big news?
The big news in the corridor. Are you people planning to remove the speaker?
But this is not a speaker house.
Are you one of those?
This place is not a speaker office. It's not a personal property. It's not anybody's personal property. Anybody who falls below the belt in terms of legislative proceedings and or requirement, obviously it behooves the members to ask you to step aside.
Do you want the speaker out?
I'm saying to you now, if you perform below the belt, it behooves the members to say step aside.
Is the speaker performing below the belt?
No, he's performing.
Okay, so
he's
you don't want
performing.
him out.
No, I don't want. It's not. I don't want him out. I'm saying he's performing until it is proven beyond all reasonable doubt that this speaker have done this, has done this, that required for us to remove him. Obviously, we remove him.
So here is my promise to you, not as a politician, but as a Liberian who lost this country with everything I have. CMC will end corruption, not reduce it, not manage it, end it. CMC will create jobs, real jobs, jobs that let you provide for your family with dignity. CMC will build roads that connect our farmers to markets, roads that connect our children to school. CMC will put medicine in hospitals, so no mother ever has to watch her child suffer because some politicians stole the health budget. CMC will unite this nation. No tribe left behind. Competence over connection. One Liberia for all Liberians. But I cannot do this alone. CMC cannot do this alone. This movement, this revolution, it belongs to you. You, the student who dreams of a better future. You, the mother who prays for her children every night. You, the father who sweat feeds this nation. You, the professional who is embarrassed by what Liberia has become.
I can't stand no more, cause no more food. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. I can't stand no more, cause no more food. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. journalist. I wonder how you make your headlines in the press release a day. Although I read the news every day, but I'm really still getting confused now. And I just wanna ask you some questions. Oh, is it based on money? Is it based on presidency? Is it based on technology? Is it based on war? Tell me, we got major headlines. Oh, we got major story. Yeah. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got major headlines. We got major story. Yeah. There is no job, no money for hustlers. Take our coverage during this.
Indeed, we got major headlines, major stories in our area, and we like to say a pleasant good evening from Liberia. Welcome to the round table tonight. We are presenting the show away from our regular studio, so let's make this clear to all of our viewers on the program. Regular thing like Liberia Electricity. For the past week, we haven't been able to bring you the show in full because we had electricity situation. So for that reason, we choose to come out and just make everything available from another side aside from our studio. So let me say good evening from Liberia, good afternoon, good morning, and good night to all of you watching us wherever you're following the show from. We'd like to say welcome to the round table. Today is the 17th of February 2026, and my name is William McGill. It's 17 minutes past 9. That's 10 p.m. in Liberia, while in the US is 5:17 right there. Let me say good evening and welcome to my host tonight, James Aku. Welcome to the program, brother.
Yeah, so thank you, Williams. It is indeed an honor to be here again on the platform. Like you said, we've been having some issue with electricity, and that's been the reason why we haven't been here. But again, that's the country for us. We are grateful to be here at about this time again, and we want to welcome all of you who are watching by the Facebook and also the YouTube channel. It is good that we come here, we discuss issues concerning Liberia because we are Liberians and no one else can do the best for our country. It's only us who can do that. So we should be standing in the gap, to discussing some of these relevant issues that affect our country, either positive or negative. So we want to say welcome to all of you. And we do hope and pray that we're going to have a wonderful show today. So we have our talking points. We're going to look at 3 focus points today on today's edition of the program, the roundtable. And the roundtable, when we say the roundtable, it's not just about us coming here and talk. Like reasons we also introduce, where we're going to have the core in segment. But I don't know, Williams, are we going to have that tonight or?
Yeah, we
How
will
will have
have
that?
people calling. We will have people calling in. The number is on the screen, and we'll also continue to announce it. We have to make our viewers continue engagement with them, making them to get used to calling or sending in their text messages if you have WhatsApp or direct, and then we can have them contributing to the program.
Sure. Okay, so that's a good thing. So like you listen to Williams. So we have been able to do that because you two are part of Liberia and we all can do this together. It's not only us, right? So but we like I said earlier on, we have 3 talking points we're going to look at. There are 2 main focus talking points we're going to look at, and then we're just going to bring in a sideline of another issue that been around the corridors of Liberia of recent, let's say for the past 2 weeks now. It has been a very interesting conversation around Liberia. But let's begin with the very first tour that we're going to talk about. We're just going to give you the introduction and give our own analysis. Then we can see how best if we can have some of you coming on and also making your contribution to these national issues. So the first issue that we're going to look at that have to do with the establishment of the national fuller, security stuff that recent sort of us been observing on social media. That video trend where you saw uh, people believed to be from the I mean from the fuller background, having a set of security for themselves. So that has been in the news all over the place, and then they have sparked a serious debate in Liberia, and not just Liberia, outside of Liberia as well. People been making their contribution, about if this group are violating our constitution, because our constitution provides that any other grouping that may want to, be established, you must pass through, most especially security grouping, you must be able to pass through the Ministry of Justice. That is, you should have a clearance, and then the Ministry of Justice will be there to do a regular check out on you every time you got to go and renew your permit. So the Ministry of Justice have that oversee over every other security issues in our country. But now with the the national fuller security grouping stuff of recent all of us and seeing that is not the case with it, right? So Liberians are far-sighted enough to have brought this out because this matters security, and it doesn't go to where people want to link it to talking about religious stuff and things. That's not it. I don't want people mistaking this, because in our country always time we try to do something always to get people mind distracted from the real issues. But this is not about religious anything. This is about security. So as to whether it is a church or it is a Christianity background or whatever Buddhist or whatever, this is not about it. This is about security, and our main focus here should be on the security of which all of us or many Liberians are talking about or are raising issues about. So when the video came out, we saw senators, representatives, talking about it. One person we saw, coming up first in the public was Senator Abraham Darrell Dillon, of which he said that they were going to raise the issue at the House of Senate, and to maybe summon the Ministry of Justice. So before that, the Ministry of Justice came out with their own press release, right? The ministry came out with their own press release, and in the press release, the Ministry of Justice have said that this grouping, this full security stuff, they don't have any information on them. They don't have any information on them. That is no process. They are not being able to go through any process at the Ministry of Justice to, let's say, having a permit or registration, nothing of sorts they have been able to do. So the ministry have told them to put her to any other recruitment or mobilization that they are carrying in that organization. The ministry came out with that press release, and that was yesterday. Yesterday they was able to come out with that press release. But it's getting more interesting now, because while coming on here, I also saw the House of Representatives, that is the legislature, has been able to also summon the Ministry of Justice, because they are the one who supersede all other security matters. So now, this coming Monday, I'm told they're going to appear. They're going to appear before the House of Representatives to give some more, insight about that grouping or that organization. Because if they are not registered with the Ministry of Justice, then it means they have violated the Constitution of Liberia. And if that is the case, it means those people or those heads of the organization will have to face punishment, or will have to bear the penalty of the law, because it totally violates the Constitution of Liberia. So it's becoming more interesting. I know a lot of you are following this. And like I've said, I know Willem will come in, but I just want to give my view on this. This is not about tribal, it's not about religion, nothing of shucks. It matters our security. If anything happen here, it is you and I who will be running from here, will be going up here and down. This is not going to be about Islamic grouping. Is no, we're talking about security. So we don't want people making this sound like people are against certain religious grouping, people are against certain. No, this is not the case. This is not the case. Because why would we want to bring such a matter, and for which the Ministry of Justice and that of the legislature now are trying to root out every other uh, things that is beyond this grouping as to how they came to form this group, this security grouping. They want to come up with it because right now the Ministry of Justice is going to appear before the legislature. So after that, I'm told they are also carrying on investigation. The Ministry of Justice said that they are going to carry on investigation. And if this guy cannot prove anything, because according to the press release, there is no document, nothing of shocks that this group has been able to come to the Ministry of Justice and say, well, this is our bylaw and constitution, or this is how we want to run the organization. It's meant for this. Nothing of shocks has been done. So we are following this case because it matters
So
our
James,
security.
I don't know if this is from my end. Hello, James.
I'm getting you. I'm getting you.
The internet from your end is so bad, I guess.
Oh, but am I clear?
Yeah, you good online. So let's go ahead. I'm following. Let's go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Like I'm saying, right?
Yeah, you
So
are. You are.
let us follow this case, to the letter. I know the Ministry of Justice would not want to see a grouping, being established and nothing, no permit and nothing of shocks. Because like even the community policing that we have, or the community watch forum, work directly under the Ministry of Justice. They deal with the police, and the police is also under the Ministry of Justice. So every other security grouping, any other group that you want to establish, you must make sure to pass through the Ministry of Justice. If that is not done, then it means you violate the Constitution of Liberia, and that can be you can be punished for that. So that is the point we are making here. We want for every Liberians to not make this case to look like it's a tribal stuff here. It's not it. Right. So Williams, I don't know. But that's my view on this, this first topic. Williams, you meet it, you meet it, you meet it. You are muted, you are muted. Ollie?
other areas in the country, and they said that the situation is somehow creepy, right? You can now establish an institution in government and say that ready to protect members of certain community. So in time of Ramadan, especially, one of the reasons why they said they have come to establish such a grouping, they said, during the time of Ramadan, they are going to, provide security for mosques across Monrovia and its environment. That was one thing we've already read as well. And some said that the institution been in existence since then. They've been providing security, and they was just trying to, mobilize some level of awareness. Those are things we listen to. But let me say this, right? Africa, we've had a lot of terrorism activities going on in neighboring countries like Mali, like Nigeria. We have the level of Boko Haram and some other groupings currently terrorizing people across Nigeria. And Liberia is mostly dominant with the Christian community. And you have Muslim, if we will total the number, they should be around 20, 30, or maybe 10 to 15% Muslim in this country. If you ask a lot of Liberians, we are all Christian, right? So the thing is, why would you, or why will you now want to protect mosques across Liberia, as if to say we are in a state that people or Liberians are basically, you know, terrorizing Muslims or people that practice Muslims or Islam? Hmm? There currently, I don't know of the past, but currently, for over 2 to 3 decades, there have been no terrorism attack on people of any religion in our country, where Muslim have been terrorized by Christian and Christian also been terrorized by Muslims. I'm saying this to say that there is, yeah, left. Let me tell James to join with a video so we can continue the show. Yeah, so currently, for what I know as a person, right, we haven't had any situation currently wherein we have had Christian terrorizing Muslims for practicing their religion. Neither have seen happen to the Christian community. I just want to take it step by step by step by step. The reason I'm saying this is that we have had more than, since I was in high school, we have had several Ramadans and fast months that I witnessed some of my schoolmates, some of my very classmates went on peacefully going about the fast month. And some of us were even very brilliant enough to respect the fact that they are following the doctrine of their religion. So I think the Ministry of Justice did a release about the Fulani Security Council or whatever they call themselves, and I think it was prudent enough because that's one thing that raised a lot of concern about the state of security for our country and our people as well. And it's one thing that we all understand that we are to be very critical, very, very critical as to how we go about hindering them. We have to be very, very critical. And finally, James is on, and we will accept this because it's the situation we are in, James. Yeah, so I will be very critical and saying that say that they want to protect their religion, and for one part that there have been no terrorist attack on our fellow Muslims, brothers and sisters across Liberia. So again, uh, the Ministry of Justice, the Liberia National Police, they all needs to do better and make sure that whatever security groupings on the Fulani should come to a halt immediately because this is raising serious security concern for our people. Like many of the people in my area have been asking similar questions, thinking that you know this might resort to similar thing that we witnessed in Nigeria, the likes of Boko Haram and Taliban and whole lot of things. So that is it, James. And yeah,
Sure.
exactly what I have
Yeah,
to say to that
they-
matter. But sometimes I am very critical as to how I speak to most of these security situations because you got to be careful as to how you go about with a security thing. The least mistake you made, and the people will try to hold you for some reason.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. So one thing I think they should understand is that the government uh has that responsibility to provide security for all citizens, right? So having a group that will want to say, well, we want to provide security for ourselves, then it means you got to pass through the Ministry of Justice, and that is you have to provide further, documentations like, or let's say you have to have a memorandum of understanding between you and that of the Ministry of Justice with all of the council you got going to come with. Then the Ministry of Justice can look at that and say, okay, I think these guys they are just doing it to maybe provide security for maybe their business or whatever. That is in the purview of the Ministry of Justice now. But you cannot say you want to provide security for yourself in that kind of a form where you have almost like a military form. That is totally wrong, and no Liberian will want to support that. We look forward for this case to be fast tracked. Like it is a security matter. It's not something to joke with because a lot of Liberians are concerned with the kind of situation that is around the country or around the continent rather, where we're seeing other groupings are performing others stuff around. So that is a serious concern to a lot of Liberians. So the Ministry of Justice, the legislature, the police, and all the other agencies that are responsible for this, I think they got to do uh, their best to really coming down on issues like that. Maybe this is just coming up to the public, but we may have other groupings too. I think this is just bringing to the spotlight because in Liberia, sometimes when you see this thing coming up, it means you have other groupings as well in this country that may not even be registered with the Ministry of Justice, other security grouping. And I want to be clear on this 100% that you may have some of them up already in the country. They do not even have documentation, nothing to prove. So we look forward to the Ministry of Justice to, sometime doing some background check to actually know what are some of those security grouping operating. Like reasons I've been able to engage with some security operators, the private security. It's going to interest you to know that some of those guys are there working. Some of them have worked for 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, and they are not employed. Does the Ministry of Justice or the Labor Ministry, are they looking forward to, to protecting these people? They are Liberians. So we really hope that some of these things, they can really look at it critically, because all of our people deserve they deserve better. You can have somebody working for more than 12 years, 15 years, and the guy is not employed, sleeping in the cold and everything. So I want to guess that other security groupings that are in this country that may not even have documentations and they are operating. So we it's not just this one, it should go beyond to also do some investigation, Williams. But that's it for that. Topic. We'll move on to our next talking
They
point.
have-
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, like I was saying, exactly what you said. They have to do more investigation. Who knows if we've had other groupings already established, and this is one institution that we just see come spotlight, because I can boldly say that James, anything happen, God forbid, in this country, the number of army personnel we currently have not be able to I said might not be able to control the situation. But again, it is what it is, and this is where we are. Liberia is getting better.
Yeah.
We will get there.
Yeah. And we look forward to having that. We look forward to having a better country in a way. But we're gonna move to our next talking point quickly, because I guess some of our people want to come on for to this edition. And this is a serious matter. I know a lot of folks been wishing to have seen this, but seeing it now, I think a lot of people are welcoming it. So the criminal court has been able to sentence former workers of Legix. Legix in past year, that was in 2021. We were told that there was a census that was being conducted rather by Legix, and then you have officials that were there working. You have the deputy director, the former deputy director for administration, one Dominic P, and you have the controller as well. Okay, the Lawrence George was the deputy director general, and then we have Dominic P, who was serving as controller at Legix. Yesterday we saw the criminal court coming up with a verdict on the case involving these former officials of government who work directly with Legix. And then it's not just going to stop there. We told that they also paid the sum of 97,000 United States dollars. They're going to pay that in the account of the government of Liberia. So this is something that is very much cardinal, because a lot of people been saying, well, the government is not making effort on punishing past government officials that was involved in criminal activities or corruption. They are not punishing them. We're just saying the president suspending people and doing this. All of the cases are in the court and nothing has been fast tracked. Like cases like Samuel Tuer, Nathaniel Mangiu on the supplementary payroll issues and all of that. A lot of things been happening. But I think this indeed proved that the government is geared towards transparency, accountability, because having former government officials being sentenced, it shows some level of seriousness that the government is taking when it comes to the fight against corruption. So in past year, that was in 2021, accordingly, these former officials were involved in misuse of public funds. So there was a fund that were allocated for the census, of which that census was being conducted according to them, but that money that was being allocated, around 1.7 million United States dollars, according to the LACC, after they have done their own investigation, it shows that the money was being misused by this individual that has been sentenced for 5 years jail time, right? So they according to them, they conducted the census, and a lot of you who are listening today to us, or who are watching, you are testimony. You saw how the census was being conducted. Like some of us, I don't know how did that process happen, because I'm not even one of those that was being counted. According to them, 5 point some more million people in Liberia, I was being conducted. And even in fact, after the entire census, there were workers who came out and said, well, we did work for Legix, but we were not paid. A lot of people protested. And that went, just on the carpet. Up the current date, some of those people are still in Liberia, they are still here, and they haven't been able to get their money. So the 1.7 million plus that was being allocated to do that census, according to the LACC, that money was being misused by these individuals. So now they are going to pay that money. They are going to pay the 97,000 United States dollars, and then they go to prison for 5 years. And for me, I think it's a good step forward that the government has taken. This shows that no other officials of government will just come to power and say, well, this is our time, we're going to use this, and nothing will come from out of it. Because whatever things that happen, the trickle-down effect go back on the people. These guys may have everything to their disposal, but the people who are there in the market, people who are there in maybe Lofa, in Nimba, and other places, I want to strongly believe that it is a good step that the government have taken, and we look forward to other cases being fast tracked as well. We still have other, former government officials, not just former, even some of the one that the president was able to suspend. Some of them he removed them from their position. I think they can also move with those cases, and that's going to show some level of seriousness from the government, so that people will not see this to be maybe a wish on only past government officials. Let it be balanced. That's why some of us want to see from the government. Some of those people that have been alleged in this very same government, and they were being taken away by the president, we want those cases to be fast tracked. And some of them too, maybe they could go to jail for 2 years and 3 years and so forth. That's going to show seriousness in this country. You can have people coming to power and they want to enrich themselves. They want to live the best of life, and forgetting to know that they are serving people. And in fact, the money that they are taking, it is not their own money. It's not their farm or maybe their businesses they are doing. It is the Liberian people resources that they take away, and they want to pocket them alone for their children and for their family members. That is totally wrong. So it's a good step that the government have taken. But again, we encourage them to do this, not just against former government officials. But again, it's a good thing, because if government officials, former government officials were involved in anything criminal, if they go to court and they cannot prove not guilty, we can say it's a witch hunt. We can say it's a witch hunt. For me, I cannot see that as a witch hunt. It's a good thing that the government is doing. Because if you go to court and say, well, James, maybe you rape, and I go to court, I cannot prove anything. If the law is going to take course on me. So why would I say, well, the people witch hunting me? It's not witch hunt. It's not witch hunt. So I see this as a great step forward from the angle of the government, Williams.
Yeah, so before I dive in, if you're watching us and you want to make a contribution, you can call us on WhatsApp 086 563 562 or 0, that's +231 86 563 562 if you're in the diaspora. If you are also in Liberia, you can use the WhatsApp or our mail line 0778 0778 and contribute to most of the topics here on a discussion. Now back to the talking point, right? James, I think that's a good step to show that people should be accountable for what they do, especially when it comes to government. Most of us are African. I will not just limit this to Liberia. I'll come back to our own setting. But African as a whole, mainly we Liberians, we believe that if you have a little position in government, it gives you the privilege to reach from the common people. What I mean by the common people, you feel that money is coming from government and donor partners. But sometimes interest comes in from government. And how do you think government get these funds to also contribute or add up to whatever fund they're supposed to, add up to whatever project they are undergoing? Is from the same taxes the commoners, the very poor Liberians, the struggling Liberians that cannot afford to feed themselves, paid. So again, the government is showing to us that yes, indeed, there's a way that we can prosecute these officials in government that always exploit the common people, but there's more and more to that. What I mean by there's more to that, we have several cases from the LACC. And if I will name a few, I'll name the case involving the former NOCAR boss from LACC report that she was being removed. Rosalind Swakoko Dennis, she was being removed and undergoing investigation. It should be going to a year now. How far is that investigation? We shouldn't be selective in investigative processes of government. We should show justice, and justice should be done to all. We look at the case involving Gracious Ra and the asset recovery. How far is that? We look at the case involving several other officials of government, past and current government officials. And we haven't had a final look at the case with Samuel Twe, former finance minister, and several other cases across here. And we haven't had a final decision being made. These people that government, the current government thinks they stole a lot from us and needs to pay for them, they should be brought to book and proved guilty or not. And we should be able to get all of the information same way they are doing for other people that they are prosecuting.
The network, I don't know, the network is actually giving difficulties. Well, like he said, those of you who are watching, we have the numbers on the screen there. You can also call and let's listen to you. You know what you have to say as well to the talking points we have here on the roundtable tonight. We're talking about the issue that have to do with the Fulani, national Fulani security group and stuff that been trending on the social media. We're also looking at those two former government officials that has been sentenced to prison for 5 years, and they're also going to pay the sum of $97,000 United States dollars. So the numbers are there on the screen. You can call. Let's listen to you as a Liberian. What do you make of some of these things happening in our country? What's the way forward? Do you think we on a red, path as a country? Where are we heading to with some of these things happening? You can also, be a part of it. Let's listen to you.
Yeah, so like I was saying before the internet started fluctuating, we expect more of this government. One thing the stress on was to bring most of the people, uh, the commoner thing that they stole a lot from the country to book. And one thing we expect right now is for how effective the asset recovery should have been by this third year of the Unity Party government. And that is something that we all are hopeful of, and we are looking to see as to how this Unity Party government can be able to tell the public we've seized this amount of asset from past government officials and even current government officials who stole from government and went to enrich themselves. And this is what government is going to do with this amount of money, or with this amount of property, or with this value of property. And then we can sit and boast of it. But again, I think it's one step at a time, and the government itself is doing better. There's still more room, or there's still room for more improvement, but again, they're doing better. And I think if they want to do more, they have to step up their game in terms of corruption cases and be able to prosecute most of these people. Again, you can join us on 0862. The number is on the screen. Call us on WhatsApp or call locally 0778 781381 and make your contribution. You can also make use of the comment section. James out for better a week, and the show wasn't that active. So yeah, I won't
Yeah,
expect.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you're right. You're right.
when we
I
bounce
don't
back
know.
Thursday.
The issue of electricity, is becoming it's becoming another, serious issue as well in the country. I
and
don't know.
that's and,
Like,
and that's one thing I wanted us to stress on. The issue of electricity is scarce, James. I'm not cutting you off. It's scarce. It's not regular. And at the end of the day, we currently have workers of the Liberia National Police, of the power theft team, are out in the street currently. I was watching a live. They should be around
yeah,
Gunnersville
and I'm told they're going to have a national. It's not just Monrovia. They're going to have a national power thing around.
at midnight, coming to your home at midnight. Do you have a warrant? Or now is there a law that the police says they should arrest people at night?
Well, I don't think so, because the Constitution doesn't provide that. The before any police officer can, in fact, make an arrest, you can go to somebody at night and say you want to arrest them, right? And before even you make a search in somebody's house, you should have a search warrant from the court. So you can go to somebody's house midnight at maybe 10, and the person having committed any major crime. They have crimes that when you commit, even if it is 12, it is 1 o'clock, they can arrest you. But let's say for power theft, I don't know how will you even manage to know that the guy is carrying power theft before going there at night. I don't know
Most of
how that's going
most
to
of the
work.
cases, yeah, most of the cases I've seen, I've been to business center. Maybe they move into people business places, so that's something I can speak of. But if it's at a person home at that hour and the person is in bed, will you come and bang on the door and say, get out? we see you on power or theft or you stealing current, and let's go to the police station. It's a bad law. It's a bad law.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
And another thing is the issue of the crosswalk. On Thursday, I want us to dive into that lengthily before we have other
Yeah,
discussion.
yes.
Yeah,
Sure,
it's the
sure,
issue of.
sure. It's a very interesting one.
I have so many questions to ask Greg Coleman. Of recent, since this RG Gregory Coleman had equipped police communication office, they haven't been getting the media involved into their activities.
You're
They
right.
just do their thing
Yeah.
and release it on their personal social media page. And
You're right.
I think the police should be questionable to us. Now, yeah, I'm itching to say some of these things, but let me just say this, right? Cool. You can tell me that we should cross on a crosswalk, and you have a very police officer standing at that crosswalk, and there's a speeding vehicle even seeing you at the crosswalk. So I think there should be some level of penalties as well for police officer. If this crosswalk thing is by law, I don't know if it's by law. So if it's not by law, then all of their comfort. But we will save that for another discussion and dive into that, into a better time.
So a lot of citizens, like you are saying, a lot of folks back here, man, like asking, well, how is this going to happen? So they are more concerned, like how is it going to happen? How will you want to restrain somebody, at maybe let's say you have like 4 to 5 marks walk before you can see your or crosswalk. Well, you have to go all the way when you just have to cross, to to the next area here. Then you have to go all the way to the next crosswalk before you can cross. There's been some concern being raised by citizens. But like you said, we hope to be back here on Thursday, to have some of these conversation. And but then we also hope that our viewers can also make their contribution on some of these issues, because this is about all of us. We all are on the road every day, and it's going to be so I don't know, so embarrassing that you'll be arrested for not crossing the crosswalk. But it's so interesting though. But it has been a wonderful time in a way, because of time we can go that deep. Like you said, the show is not active tonight because we've been off for quite some time now. But
Yeah.
I guess next Thursday, or this Thursday rather, it's going to be quite interactive. I want to believe so.
Okay, James. Let's get. Is that your final, parting comments before we
No, so let
let's get
me
your
just make my parting comment.
closing
Okay.
statement?
Yeah. So on a closing statement, again, we want to encourage members of the legislature to take the issues serious. Like they already summoned the Ministry of Justice. That is the national full security issue. We look forward to them not just maybe calling the Ministry of Justice, and when the Ministry of Justice can't talk and they go by and say it and nothing is happening. Let's pray that they will push this case further, that an investigation can be done, and like they are going for they are going to be someone, right? I hope some of those legislators, so some of those representatives will ask some of the major questions to them, like how many security firm we have in the country. And these are questions. Are all of them being lessened to operate? And let's get something out of the Ministry of Justice too. Let's get something out of them. So I already look forward to member of the legislature giving some of the tough questions to them, knowing how many security firm we have, how they operating. Let's get some out of them, so that we can also know as to how our safety is, or our security is. And we also look forward to the government pushing most of these corruption cases. This case against the former Legix deputy director and that of the controller is a good step forward for the government. But again, it's not all to it. There are a lot of cases that are still in the court, and a lot of Liberian eyes are on them. They're looking forward to having accountability of past government officials and even current one. It's not just the past. So the judiciary system, that is the judiciary branch of government, they too have a part to play in this. We hope that they're going to fast track some of the cases. We can have them being laid on there every day, and you just have the country going upside down, coming sore, and nothing has been done to prosecute people who may have stolen, work from the country, and they are still here walking up and down, moving among the people. Sometimes they even behave like they have not taken a dime, or they even bring themselves down to an unimaginable, believe that they are the one even suffering. And after they have stolen a lot of work from the people, they behave like nothing has happened. So we don't want to see that happening. If people, as it is being alleged, they have taken any other money to use, they be prosecuted so that it will serve as a lesson to other people who may want to do the same. But William, it has been a wonderful time. We can, be here all the time. We're looking forward to be here on Thursday by God's willing. And it's going to be a very interactive show. We encourage all of our viewers to tune in on Thursday by God's willing. We're going to be here with a fresh, edition of the program. But it has been a great time.
Thank you so much, James. And it's been a wonderful time. You set it up. We will be here on Thursday, beginning at 10 p.m. Liberia time, better 5 p.m. the US time. And wherever you are, it will be your time that time. So until then, do have yourself a great night. We are out. Bye-bye.